Vaush thinks LunaOi is a right-winger. Okay. Vaush explains what is wrong with LunaOi.
Or anything
I don't
else
think
that
you
wanna-
don't. I mean, it's the same thing with LunaOi. Like, you don't know anything about Vietnam either. We talked about
LunaOi's
Vietnam.
video on me was embarrassing. She spent 2 minutes misinterpreting an argument that she had vaguely seen on Twitter, and 18 of them talking about a person who wasn't me.
Again, when people that are from those parts of the world try to talk about
Nice liberal identity politics. When women of color speak out, you should listen, Vaush.
Oh my god, he's so obnoxious. Like, she's saying that Luna actually knows things that he doesn't, and he tries to reduce it to an identity argument.
Really? Damn, you should be running your own racial sensitivity meetings at
Well, this guy, he did this to Bad Mouse too. Like, Bad Mouse was saying something completely different, and his response was just to like say exactly this, basically. Like, oh, a classic identity politics. No, it's a comparison of knowledge.
businesses.
How is that liberal?
Do you know what liberal idpol is?
I do.
You're
But
like,
how is that
what's
liberal?
D'Angelo? What's the name of that lady? You're like, you should be running those white fragility classes, you know? When you
How does anyone watch this guy? He has nothing substantive to say about
hear
anything,
a
man.
voice of a woman of color, you should speak out.
Like, does he ever actually like make a decent argument? Come up with a decent response to anything? It's like a 12-year-old. Come on.
Nah, I prefer to let the arguments do the talking, personally.
I don't
You
necessarily.
prefer
think
to
that
let
you
the
just
arguments do the talking. Well, in order to make a good argument, you actually have to know what you're talking about.
need to listen to everything. Like, people of
Why
color
don't I
saying,
just
take it,
assess
like,
the
face
arguments?
value
Why
and
do I
just
have to make it a
accept
race
That's
thing?
If there's any valid example of white fragility existing, this is it. This guy right here. Like, the very mention of the fact that non-white people exist, and he basically always does this. This is how he always reacts.
a race thing. It's that when
You just
people are
brought
actually
up-
from that part of the world and they have experience or they understand the intricacies of like their own people and their own groups that are part
But
of the
LunaOi was
world,
wrong.
it's
She
helpful
had
to-
she talked in her video
she-
and said incorrect statements about Vietnam. I googled, like she made strong claims about the interests of their people, and it turns out she was
literally
wrong.
lives there.
He Googled it, so she was wrong.
She lives there, and you told her she was wrong,
Wait,
and she lives
do you
there?
think you should take anecdotes from one YouTuber over Pew Research data to form opinions on a country?
Pew Research, I know exactly what he did regarding this poll. It's a poll where they asked in Vietnam, like, do you support economic freedom? And they voted yes. But people like Vaush don't think that maybe in a country like Vietnam or in a country like China, people think that economic freedom means something different. Let's look up that poll. Yeah, so this question was, most people are better off in a free market economy, right? And Asian countries answered like overwhelmingly yes. The thing is, do you think that maybe people have a different idea of what free market means? Of what terms like economic freedom, etc. mean in other countries? Especially countries that are at least have like a nominally communist socialist education system like Vietnam and China do. Like, these people never consider that they do not interpret these terms in the same way that you do. If 95% of people believed in the quote-unquote free market in the sense that Vaush thinks they do, the Vietnamese government would be overthrown tomorrow. We're not having a quote-unquote free market in the sense that he thinks that term means. Like, if 95% of people fundamentally disagree with your economic system, you're not going to last very long, okay? The 3% of people who do aren't exactly going to be able to hold it up. When you see this, and you legitimately think, they're definitely talking about the free market in the sense that I understand it, you're just being willfully stupid. You're essentially intentionally misinterpreting the data. The question was, most people are better off in a free market economy, even though some people are rich and some are poor. Disagree or agree? You know, if you call something free, you're already giving it like a positive connotation. The idea that most people like understand these sorts of descriptive economic terms in the same way across the world, across cultural barriers, across in countries that have totally different economic histories, is obviously absurd. But someone like Vaush is never going to think about methodology. He's just going to go, Vietnam, support free market, 95%? That must mean everyone in Vietnam hates their government.
Did I just hear that correctly?
You're more willing
He Googled it. He Googled a poll, willfully misinterpreted what it said, didn't even really critique it anyway, but he has the answer here.
to take an American
Pew
or a
Research
Western-centric
data.
study. No. You're
Holy shit, the way that he said that. Pew Research data. Do you disagree with Pew Research data? This is clearly someone who like worships the process and like very sort of a very vague understanding of expertise and authority. You question Pew Research data? What? You don't believe CNN? CNN's poll might be biased. The Pew Research poll has methodological flaws. You're saying that? How could that be possible? It's pure research data. I'd call it scientism, but it's not even scientism. It's like, yeah, fetishism for like a vague appearance of like empiricism or science, an uncritical worship.
More willing to take a Western anecdotal study over someone who actually lived in Vietnam.
Bro,
That just
Pew
seems
Research
ridiculous.
is totally Western. You should just listen to this YouTuber.
God. Now her critique is dumb. Mine is good. Hers is dumb. Mine is good. Okay. But his response to it is basically just to say, Pew Research data. Pew Research data. How could you possibly question the Pew Research data? How is this guy held up as some sort of like intellectual?
Yeah, no shit, because I'm not an anti-intellectual.
So you think
Exactly.
it's anti-intellectual?
He thinks it's anti-intellectualism if you dare to critique the methodology of the Pew Research data. Unbelievable. If you dare to question, the obvious different interpretations that are possible behind the phrasing of that question.
To not listen to someone that's
To
from
ignore
the country and
data
just agree
because
with
one person
research.
said otherwise. Hey, wait. Can I ask you something?
Data.
Sure, go ahead.
So LunaOi said that Vietnamese people don't like the market reforms that their country has been undergoing since the 1990s. But the data says that 94% of the Vietnamese people support market reforms and want more of them.
That's literally not what it said. It was asking a question, do you support a notion of the free market? Free market, that can mean literally fucking anything in different contexts. As I said, the word free has an incredibly positive connotation. Like, who wouldn't want to support a market that is free? Do you want to support a fucking imprisoned market? Do you support like a non-free market? Huh? Like, if someone doesn't already have like the sort of cultural context and the sociological economic context as to what that term means, especially like in a specifically Western context, they're going to interpret that positively on the face of it every time. And we don't know how they translated it to Vietnamese. We don't know anything about that.
That's a greater
They have to.
majority
They have
than
no choice.
that's
They
a
have
great
no choice.
hold on. That's
They
a
have
great
no
hold on.
choice.
That's a greater majority than any other country that was listed on that study by an exponential factor. So
They have no choice.
So wait, so you're saying
you
LunaOi was wrong? They do want it, but they have no choice but to want it?
The Pew Research poll? Could you possibly disagree with the Pew Research poll? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is his point of even arguing here? Like, let's say hypothetically that Vietnamese people really do support like Western-style free market capitalism as he's trying to frame it. So is his idea that like that's a good thing? Like, free market capitalism is now based because Vietnamese people supposedly, according to him, support it? Like, what's the end goal here? Is he arguing in favor of that? If 95% of Americans said that the free market is good, would that be a good thing? No, that would be fucking terrible. So what is his point here even? Is it just that he wants to be right? Is it that he's right? Like, where is he going with this? It doesn't seem to be anywhere.
They have no choice because the only way for them to compete in the market is to open that market. But it doesn't
So
necessarily
they
mean the
want
people
it.
want
So
that.
they want those reforms so they can compete in the market.
They're being held at the standard of the Western market, so they have to do it to compete, or else they'll starve.
Interesting. Do
They
you
have
hold
no
this
choice.
criticism for the reforms that have been pushed in Africa due to the Belt Road Initiative?
They're not the same situation.
There are no reforms that have been pushed in Africa to the Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative doesn't come with these sorts of conditions. For example, they were imposed on Vietnam as a result of IMF programs, structural adjustments they call them. Structural adjustments are not included in Belt and Road Initiative loans. So he's literally just making something up here. He's completely inventing something that doesn't exist to be like, oh, so you're a hypocrite, when it literally isn't like that at all.
100% different.
So
You
the
can't compare
Vietnamese
them.
people democratically deciding to introduce market reforms is actually worse.
They democratically decide. When did they democratically decide to introduce market reforms? I don't think that ever happened.
Than China imposing economic initiatives on African countries.
They don't. That doesn't happen. What is he even talking about? He just makes shit up as he goes along.
Even remotely the same argument.
Well, you're bad
Not
with
even
comparisons, so I know.
point.
You are all over the place. So to answer your question broadly, no, I don't listen. No, I don't take single anecdotes over data.
I've been trying to understand like where your framing is for where you're getting your arguments, and every time I press you and ask you a question to make sure I get like you understand the nuance, you just repeat yourself.
Your
or you
nuance
just, like,
was
or you-
ignore
or you
data
reduce
because it's from the West.
or you reduce-
Feels
I'm not
like
saying
he supports the Holocaust.
I agree.
that Western data is bad. I don't believe that all Western data is bad. That's just
You
ignorant. I don't
just
believe
said,
that.
would you really take Western data over the anecdote of one individual?
No, I didn't say that. I meant like
Wait, chat, did she not say that?
that's not.
You know this is being
He
recorded.
didn't explain what's wrong with LunaOi at all. He did nothing here. This what is this clip?
Right? I love all the wait, hold on. I love Twitter, man. I love it. I love all these people mad about serfs and Dylan Burns talking to Lauren Southern right after Vaush, quote, had a wonderful time hanging around with Charlie Kirk and Tim. You're discontent with their actions of zero impact with their desire to get more clicks. Wait. I didn't actually just hang out with them. We did a debate. Praxis is when you debate Nazis and racist scums online to prove you're smarter than them. Funny, that's what I'd be doing if I talk with LunaOi. Because Luna...
Is he trying to say that talking to LunaOi would be platforming a Nazi, but talking to Charlie Kirk and actual Nazis who admit that they are Nazis straight up wouldn't be, apparently?
LunaOi ever said anything racist? She's a right-winger. She has to have, right?
Wow. Wow, this guy is a huge piece of shit. This guy is a turd. There's no way that you can look at this and say he's not a fucking turd with the shit that he's saying about her. Vaush has actually said many racist things. Many. Just look up Vaush Discord logs and you'll see a ton of them. This is such projection.
Probably, wait, Uyghur Muslims. Easy. There's no way she believes that China's committing a genocide. Is she anti-LGBT? Is that true?
You see how he doesn't actually engage with anything. He doesn't actually look into anything. He just like reads his chat. Oh, she hates the gays. She hates these people. She hates that.
Oh yeah, she has
She's
some
clearly a
about
Nazi.
the LGBT movement in Vietnam. Damn. Oh man, for real. Okay. Damn, we have a nationalist, anti-LGBT.
If we want to talk about a nationalist, anti-black, anti-native, just look at Vaush. Absolute right-winger. Far right at that. He's. It's funny how he always makes a Nazi comparison when Vaush's opinion on settler colonialism is completely in line with Nazism.
Ethnic supremacist Islamophobe. Damn. Well, no, I won't be debating this person. Whew.
Wow, that was incredible. He sure earned her. There were like a million points there where he could have been called out on his dumb shit. You dare to question Pew Research? You don't accept Pew Research immediately, uncritically? Pew Research? Pew Research? You don't accept Pew Research? Who are you, man? Pew Research? Oh, that was fucking absurd.